G'day, today we're going to have a look at the Mini Motorways weekly challenge. So let's just quickly get the stats of this one. So it's a weekly challenge of the 4th of October. Start with 150 road tiles, no further are offered. 4 bridges we start with. And the weekly choices are now a mystery. Now I would say that the leaderboard is going to heavily favour those who are lucky with those mystery... those mysteries if they land, like especially motorways on a level like this where you're not allowed to use road tiles. That's going to be a huge advantage to those of us who I'm sure, I'll say us because I can't imagine that I'm gonna see a lucky one on this one attempt where we end up with, I don't know, roundabouts I suppose. But any roundabout we get, I guess we've got to use. Partly because if you place a roundabout, it actually removes the road tiles that are sitting underneath it. So the advantage there would be that we get a couple of road tiles back for any time that we do place a roundabout. It'd be cool if there was a way to speed up these really early ones where there's just nothing going on and skip them. Obviously there is a fast forward, but not to an insane degree. Probably what we don't need on this one, another bridge. There's so many bridges. Oh, sorry, there's not that many rivers in this one that you need that many bridges. Now this is a tricky one because to get him to there would cost me a lot of tiles. We will do those. Might just do that for now. Since that house just sprung up, we will separate them out. What I was going to do there is try and build this as a candidate for a roundabout location if we do get one. Well, luckily, we do have bridges in hand, so we can just sort of scoot around the edge there. Keep going right. Sure that there's no sort of rhyme and reason to the side we pick, but maybe if the variety will keep changing on that right hand side, that we'll keep opting to take that same one side. Alright, let's pause for a second here. Flip this around. So we'll send him down there, and we'll send these guys across here. That does actually mean that we've got access for this guy to connect in. Maybe what I'll do is just build that line there, just to stop any houses from appearing in it, to leave us with that option. More like that. So far they've been quite kind to us on where they've put their my factories to my houses. Certainly can't complain about that. Alright, so what we'll do is we will just burn a roundabout in here, just because, like I said, it'll save us a little bit of extra road. And we'll allow those two houses to be connected there. We've just got to wait for this to disappear, and then we can build a new bridge so that we do have 2 houses focusing on both. That does mean that currently this guy up here is the only person who only has 1 house. do sort of have a little bit of flexibility that we can turn this guy around if need be, because we can see currently he's not being used. Obviously this is very early days, but interesting to give him another helping hand. Hopefully there's not enough sort of a gap here or here that there's probably a little bit much of a gap there that we can get some, end up with a factory in there or something. That's a good pickup. Let's flick that guy around for now. We don't have anyone else anywhere near this though, so potential problems that can cause are certainly there. Let's see. Still a lot of room over here for anything else to be built as well. And we do have that luxury of that motorway now on hand, which I don't think we really need at this point. I would more expect that it could be at a point where... Okay, let's think about this for a moment. So what we can do is swing him in there. We can restructure this to go up and around that way, and then allow him to come in, and we can turn him around so that both of them have 3 houses still. The placement like that, we can certainly hope that this becomes yellow. We can get these guys to come across here, help out with him. Certainly making an argument for making this a higher motorway and then having these guys connect down here. Just depends on how he copes. We definitely want to see another red house down here to help out. We also can consider swapping him this way if these guys get any more successful. Because we are not getting skimp on road pieces, but I do want to keep in mind how many we've got. Get a very friendly placement there, green. I don't think we need those yellow houses at the top just yet. Like I said, we're just rooting for that be yellow. Question that we've got to consider is there anywhere that's going to be worthwhile having a roundabout? So even if it's just to remove some pieces out of off the board to give me a few more road pieces. Possibly be these guys here. Not sure about that. Okay, so we should get another greenhouse before... Oh, there we go. So... Cool. Let's connect these two guys together. Definitely the first less than ideal placement of a destination for us. So let's get him going up there. Okay, let's... I mean, because I've only got the one motorway, and they They're definitely going to be not a common occurrence. I think what we need to do is get rid of that. Just let these guys take care of it. They're not that far away in the great scheme of things. Beautiful. Alright, that's what we want to see. Just building up our little backlog of motorways. I might put that in there. I'm getting a lot of yellow up here, and we probably need yellow down here. I mean, certainly we've got to keep an eye on this guy. He's still running on 3 houses, and he's looking good at the moment. That always could turn around, and we're down to 28 road pieces here. So places like this yellow and this green still taking a lot of road pieces to get to, even though they're flowing fine. But they're the ones that we can sort of look at and go, all right, well, that's where we're going to be using a lot of pieces that we can possibly reclaim. Great. Okay, let's put a roundabout's a word. Put a roundabout in there. Let those guys get through to him. Now he's starting to struggle. So, the problem is that there's no real sort of set of red guys that aren't being used for something else. So, I mean, what we'll do is we'll just claim those 3 guys for now. The real bummer of that is it doesn't take away any road. Like, if I say claimed... Yeah, there's probably a good argument. If I claimed these 2 guys, instead what I can do is I can reclaim all that road. We actually do get road back for adding that highway. So yeah, we'll do that instead. Okay. So what we might do is just see if we can relocate that roundabout. It's a good house pickup there. Okay. Put our roundabout back. Let's drop it there. Get him to connect onto that one. Those guys to connect down there and him to come that way. Now, I'd say he's a bit too far removed to use anywhere. I've still got the 28 pieces. He could sort of come down here and connect onto this guy and be the 5th house helping out here. If I do get a roundabout, I wouldn't mind trying to figure out something with these guys. Okay, so what we'll do is we will shift these guys out that way. We'll bring these 2 guys across here. Still yet to have received a set of traffic lights, but that's what we'd want to use them. Now, potentially this guy doesn't even need this whole set of guys anymore. That hopefully these guys can actually look after it and get rid of that turn. But again, that would be a nice spot for a traffic light. Now these guys are all working, so let's add them the extra house. And we do have this set of guys up here as well that can also help out there if we need. And that would be a good spot to have a roundabout. So we're just going to end up with way too many bridges. Okay, cool. So what we were sort of hoping for, what we can do is run those 3 guys across. We will then shift this sort of north. That mess of a neighborhood. This red neighborhood here, potentially using it would make this guy a good candidate for a motorway as well. We could just have them skip over this, jump down here, and then have these guys connected and move elsewhere. Okay, so this guy is now going to have problems unless we can get some more houses to him, I'd say. Alright, so let's pause for a second because he is starting to lose the plot. Get that set of guys over there and press that. You can see as well. Beautiful. This guy's got no one at home as well, which means that these guys aren't taking care of that fully on their own. There's a little bit of assistance coming out here. This isn't looking too good. So what we'll do is I will give these guys reclaim all that. I'll reclaim that as well. What we'll do is we'll put that here. And dot up there. Try and improve the efficiency of green because they're having to look after 2. We'll see if that can improve their movement. If one of these goes circular, it could definitely spell a problem for us. Oh, luckily it's this one down here that's decided to go circular. They're definitely looking a little bit better, that change. Now, this guy here is still not looking great, but I think in part that's just because I've only got the one dark blue destination, and so it's having to take all of that load. Yellow's doing very well. I'm actually surprised at how well they're handling, particularly this guy and his 4 houses. Got one motorway still, so what we might do is give these guys that motorway, put a road out here, shift that to here, and get rid of that. Then those guys down there. Who's objecting? This guy. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what we can do to help him out. We have 5 houses on him, but we can give him that one nice and quick, and we can supplement these guys by giving him that one. And again, I can't, like, they're gonna have to slow down into that just because we don't have a... thank goodness. Okay, so firstly, let's get rid of that guy off that intersection. What are our 2 major intersections? It's going to be this one here. We just don't want them slowing down. I suppose we don't want those guys slowing down. I don't know if that was an issue or not, but See how we go for efficiency there. Okay, so this red guy here, bang, he's straight in. He's going to help take care of that. Actually, this intersection right here is probably going to be our other one. That's not pretty. A lot not to like about that. What's going on there, but take it for what it is at the moment. Oh, sorry, didn't even notice this guy here. So what we'll do is we will try and address him nice and quick. And what we'll do is we'll take all these weird straggler houses that are just all over the place up there and get them to go straight on it. Now, I don't think that that's the most needed use of a motorway that I have, but certainly at the moment that was the one that just needed addressing before they crashed and burnt on me. We can certainly look to replace that with just a normal road, which we will do now that that's well under control. These guys are slowing as they enter that, so we will give that to them. This guy I'm going to get to join over here. Oh, it's the end of my road tiles. Now that does make for an interesting question about what we want to be doing now. Again, this guy's looking too great, but neither is this. Or this. So we can probably summarize it to say nothing's looking too great at the moment. We're yellow. We'll compliment yellow. They're doing a really good job. This guy here. It's interesting because this guy just can't cope with just that one pressure. I mean, the only solution to really help that guy would be that just give us another warehouse and we'll help him out. So if we're looking at trying to save road, sure we have any need for any bridges. I mean, it may as well even give us 4 at the start. If you get 4 at the start and you get no more, I would still be covered for what I've currently used. Okay, let's get those two guys off that road. Get him off that road as well. Now this red guy here is struggling a little bit, so is he. Now this is just to do with the amount of workload that red has to take on. It's not to do with the layout of these guys. So let's just see if we can give a helping hand to those guys. Fit one in there that's anywhere that's not going to annoy green. Turn that guy around at least though. Nice. I mean, all this guy can really do is just keep going. He's... This guy down here is looking a little bit questionable too. Now, obviously the question would be, would I be better off with this guy here if I was to get rid of this connection? If I was to just take these two guys out of that, would they stop just getting in the way? I'm going to try it. Just cancel their route for now. And just see if that ends up giving us a smoother movement through. It's actually less houses connected, but less congestion in the way that the road's being operated. I mean, there's a whole lot that it would be good to fix up here. Like, I could give these guys a roundabout, shift them around this side. Potentially they're just going to live on the edge forever now. Actually, they're getting worse and worse. Red's also starting to struggle. I guess we can bring him in. It's a hard decision on whether we bring these two guys back in. I mean, if nothing else, they might just do a quick surge for assistance. Worst case, what they would do is they would just block the road and cause it to be a little bit longer before everyone else gets in there to help out. See, it's sort of 6 of one, half dozen of the other there, I'd say, with what's going on here. Possibly we could put a set of traffic lights in there, but I don't know if it would help, hinder it. It's a real tough one, that. I guess this guy here is struggling with his 4 houses. Which is more than fair to have that as a problem. What we do is get rid of that. Oh no, we don't have the road to connect it. We've got this settlement up here, but we don't have a motorway that they can use. All we have is just red slowly crumbling. I want to get this guy down to help out here, because I mean, you can see these guys at the top aren't even contributing to that, so let's knock out those 2 guys. Give that extra house to this one once they get home. Yeah, Red is not happy in the slightest here. Yellow that ends up sinking this. And basically our only hope is if we actually manage to land a motorway, but instead we're just going to have more and more bridges. Yeah, like I said, I think if you're lucky enough to just keep getting motorways on your picks, I think that's where you're going to do well. Basically what I need is I need these 4 houses here to have a motorway that I can connect them down here. Now, is there any of these motorways that I can quickly claim in an attempt to try and rescue that? Yeah, it would possibly be this one. But you can see that all the guys at these houses are currently out, and all of these guys are currently out. So it's using all of those, and it's still struggling. This motorway is basically the bulk of those houses, so we can't take that. This one here is doing the job of just green, instead of green having to travel over there. But the thing is, I can't take it because I don't have the road tiles in order to make it over there. Just need 2 road tiles in order to connect that guy to here. So let's take this guy, the connection. Join him in and help out that tiny little bit. Although this guy here is about to sink on me. 4,700. When we started to be in trouble at what, 3,700, I think that's not too bad a boost up there. So let's have a look how we did on the scores. 30. I will certainly take that. There we go. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.